Hi family, my name is Shadeen Anglin and I'm the third of 3 children for my mother and the second of 3 children for my father. My parents raised me in St. Anne in a district called John Reed. My father was, however, from a district called Coffee Ridge, and so growing up, I was used to going to both John Reed and Coffee Ridge. Whenever I was spending time with my mother's parents, I would be in John Reed, and if I was spending time with my father's parents, I'd be in Coffee Ridge. I was born at the Percy Junior Hospital, and I believe that's in Manchester. And I moved to Kingston at 6 years of age, and I started primary school in Kingston. I went to the Russell Primary School at 1 Ricketts Avenue in Kingston, Jamaica. I later graduated and attended high school at Camperdown High. Now, after I studied the sciences at Camperdown, including physics, chemistry, biology. Oh, by the way, let me tell you a little bit about that. So, I liked biology. I did not like chemistry. I loved physics, okay? So, chemistry, I did horribly at chemistry tests, to be honest. I really did not like going into the labs and doing all those tests. I really hated it. I think there were a few times when I literally had my uniform burnt because I didn't get the formula right. So, chemistry, I slept through chemistry classes, and whenever I did exams, sometimes I got really low scores. I'll never forget, I think my lowest score in chemistry was 2%. And I still ended up doing CSEC in chemistry. I should have opted out. Anyway, that was that. In CSEC, I think I got a 3 in chemistry. I didn't like it, to be honest. It was difficult for me. There were some brilliant students in my class who mastered chemistry from the 9th grade. I couldn't get it. I started at grade 9. I did it in grade 10, and I also did it in grade 11, and I just could not wait to be through with it. I didn't like it. As I said, I kind of liked biology, but what I loved the most was physics, and I think I spent a lot of time doing, experiments and just studying the various formulas for physics. I liked formulas like the equation for speed and power, so velocity, acceleration. That's my language. I loved physics. So when I was going to graduate to the tertiary level, I was indecisive about what I wanted to study. However, I think I got to a point where I said, okay, I would like to do law. So I applied for the law school at the University of the West Indies, and guess what? I was not accepted. Okay? No, I was not. So because I did not meet the requirements to have been accepted into the law program, I said to myself, okay, I'm going to do the next thing to law, the thing that I think is next to law, the next best. And for me, that was political science. And I got admitted into that program at UWI. And so today I can say that I hold a bachelor's degree in political science. Why did I even go into political science? I think it's because I was still trying to make my way into law. Anyhow, as you can see, I'm not in law. Okay, I just have this degree in politics, which I'm so happy I got the chance to read for this degree, because to be honest, when you go through that program at UWI, I'm not sure how they do it in other colleges or universities, you get the chance to cover a myriad of topics, and you get to look at different sectors and how they operate. And so I think it has helped me to be rounded, to be honest, in all the studying that I did and all the courses that I had to take. I think studying for political science has helped to give me this rounded point of view when it comes on to my take on different areas of life. So that's that. But may I just say, my greatest achievement, see, I don't talk about all those certificates and so on, because to me, they did not contribute to what has become my greatest achievement yet. My greatest accomplishment is this, that I am a child of the King of all kings, a servant of the Most High God. He calls me by name. He knows me and I know him. That is my greatest accomplishment, and no high school studies have contributed toward that. No primary school education has contributed toward that. No degree in college has contributed toward that. So that's why I don't talk about my certificates. I don't talk about what I've accomplished in the academic world, because to me, I feel like my greatest accomplishment has nothing to do with those things. I boast in the fact that Christ loves me. I boast in the fact that he knows me. I boast in the fact that I love him so much with all of my heart, with all of my mind, with all of my soul. I love him so much, so much, so much. I'm his favorite. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, I am his favorite, and I boast in that. I love him so much. I think about him all the time. When I eat, I think about him. If I'm in a vehicle, I'm thinking about him. If I'm writing, I'm thinking about him. If my phone rings, I'm thinking about him. I'm thinking about him all the time, like literally. Thought of him puts me to sleep. Thoughts of him are in my mind when I get up in the mornings. And even when I'm struggling to pray, I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still talking to him in my mind. I love him. I love him so, so much. So much. I'll do anything for him. That's how much I love him. This love that I have is an undying love. It cannot expire. Okay? It's an infinite love that I have for him, and I cannot help myself. I'm just so in love with him. The best conversations I've had throughout my 30-something years of life, of living, are those that involve talking about him. And I've only had a few people who I've really come across who get me so riled up, like when I'm talking, to the point where they almost want to stir me and lead me down a path of jealousy, like godly jealousy, like, how dare you talk about him like you love him more than me. I've come across just a few of them, but I love him so much. I love him, I really do. So what else? I think that's what you want to know. That's what you need to know. Just the fact that I love him. I love him. I'm bound by our covenant. I'm bound by his word. And I just want to see people's lives changed for the better through him and through power in his name. I look forward to going all over the world for Christ. I look forward to going to Africa. I look forward to going to Australia. I look forward to going to Europe, Asia, all over the world for Christ. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to happen, because may I just say something? So when I flew to North Carolina by the grace of God the other day, I noticed something, and I don't know if you will relate, but I noticed that the older I get is the less I'm liking the idea of flying. I don't like to fly anymore. I don't know why. To be honest with you, let me tell you, I think I know why. You see that whole submarine situation that happened back in 2023? You remember that submarine news with the people who went down and the submarine went missing for days and they were searching? I just feel like that whole story that was making rounds on the internet for days, and may I say weeks, it traumatized me. I don't know about you, but I think I was so traumatized by this story, to be honest with you, that it has intensified my level of awareness when it comes on to being in enclosed spaces. And so, to be honest with you, when I went to North Carolina, yes, Sister Melissa, me see I put your hand over your head. For what? So when I was going to North Carolina the other day, I'm not gonna lie, I just felt like I wanted to come out of the plane. I didn't want to be on that flight. I don't know why. So I said to my husband, honey, I just feel like I don't like flying these days. I feel like I kept my eyes shut for the whole flight. To be honest, it's like, I don't know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so how am I going to reach Europe? How am I going to reach Africa? They're going to have to sort out a different way to get there because I don't think I like to fly. I don't like flying anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't. It does not fascinate me anymore. It does not intrigue me anymore. I don't like the idea. I mean, I go on that plane and I just don't like how I feel. So you have to pray for me and ask God to create a different means of moving from one place to the next, because if I feel so uncomfortable these days sitting down for 2 hours or an hour and change. Now, can you imagine having to travel distances such as all the way to Africa? You're talking about being on a flight for how many hours? I don't know how that gonna work with Shadeen, but I don't like that. So we need God to, I want him to come up with a different idea, you know. I don't like that. Okay, so my greatest testimony so far is that Christ loves me and I love him, and I covet the testimony of Enoch, and I pray that I will leave this world with a similar testimony. That Shadeen walked with God. Not sure about the part that says, and she was no more, but that Shadeen walked with God. I love you. So, family, remember we're going to be in Florida for the Florida Encounter at the end of April. On April 27, we're going to be at the Hilton Hotel in West Palm Beach at 150 Australian Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida. April 27. I'm going to be signing my book, I've Seen Jesus, from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. And at 7, we'll get the worship experience underway. Again, we're going to be at 150, that's 150 Australian Avenue, West Palm Beach, Florida, at the Hilton Hotel. So, if you know a keyboardist who is from the Florida area, can you please send the information to me? And if you know people who would like to participate in the worship experience, if they'd like to help lead worship, you know, true worshipers, please recommend them. The number to which I'd like you to send the information is +1 876 319 5163. Also remember now, we're going to be traveling all the way down to Florida. So we're asking those people who want to help sponsor the tickets for the team to come down. So the place is already sponsored, by the way. So we don't have to worry about taking care of that. The only thing we need sponsorship with is just to fly down. So 876-319-5163, and that's for the team members who will be coming. And I want them to be there because they're already trained to help in certain areas. So you know where to go to do that. You may go to the website shadeenanglin.org/donate. And if you're sponsoring, please put sponsor in the comments or any part of the application so that I can know that this is toward the Florida experience. Or otherwise, you can get the other information if you send a WhatsApp message to +1 876 319 5163. The Florida encounter is going to be glorious. It's going to be powerful. I just feel like the Lord is going to be pouring out on so many individuals. I feel like people there will actually be anointed. I feel like people there will be refilled. I feel like, I don't know, but I just feel like some end time warriors are going to be in that place. People who are going to be used mightily by the Lord. in the next few years. So we're going to hear about some of them. We're going to see them. Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be amazing. How do you feel? Saturday, April 27 in Florida. So Boston, I really want to finalize on the venue for Boston, Massachusetts, but that's something that is a work in progress. So allow me to get back to you about that. Lake Charles, Louisiana. We'll think about Lake Charles. But for sure, we're going to actually be coming to Virginia. So keep your fingers crossed. Okay? God bless you, family. I love you so much. Let me see who is texting. Okay, someone wants me to listen to a voicemail later. I think so too, Chantel. It's going to be amazing.